May 20th, 1995. After losing his WBA and IBF titles to Michael Moore, Evander Holyfield is on the comeback trail. His first opponent, merciless Ray Mercer.
In 1988, he represented the United States in the Seoul Olympic Games, and he brought home heavyweight gold. Now Ray Mercer is 34 years old, and he sees this as his last chance to be among the heavyweight elites. Coming off of a draw against Marion Wilson, a journeyman opponent here in Atlantic City. That was July of last year, 1994. Now he faces the challenge of a comebacking Evander Holyfield. I'm Joe Tessitore alongside light heavyweight John Scully. Mercer comes in at 224 pounds on that 6'1" frame. John, at this stage of his career, 34 years old, the 2 losses, the unenthusiastic draw last summer against Wilson, what does Ray Mercer offer up?
Well, Ray Mercer at his best, if he's motivated, and that's always the key with him, it's always a question mark. If he comes prepared mentally and physically, he's a rock. Like, he's a very tough man. He's very, very durable. He's obviously got the power. He's got killer instinct. Like when he had Morrison hurt, he didn't hesitate. He went for the kill. So he's durable. Like, he's going to make you work. If you want to beat him, you're going to have to work, if he's at his best, and that's the big question in my eyes.
Of course, you need to be at your best when you take on Evander Holyfield, at least the Evander Holyfield that everybody has come to know. The question is, what version of Evander Holyfield will Ray Mercer be opposite tonight? It was last year, spring of '94, when he was upset by Michael Moore, and Moore became the first southpaw heavyweight champion of the world. Just 3 days later, doctors diagnosed Holyfield with a heart defect. Evander made a decision to retire. But a month and a half later, he saw a faith healer, and he said he was healed. Doctors at the Mayo Clinic, the famed institution in Minnesota, verified that. In fact, they said that the heart defect that was diagnosed just days after the Moore fight never even existed. So a clean bill of health for Evander Holyfield, and a return to the ring since last year's upset loss to Michael Moore. What are you expecting out of Holyfield tonight, John?
Again, he's you never know what you're going to get. In the Moore fight, he was very lax, whether it was a heart problem or whatever the case may be. You know, you go against Bo, but when he went against a monster, very big man compared to him, and he's got tremendous will and heart. And you know, he had, even when he's not at his best, he has that. He tries to implement that. The clash of styles here with 2 tough guys that aren't generally going to go anywhere. They're both going to be right there. You know, it should be a very good, entertaining fight with both of them at the level they're at. Like, they're probably both a little bit removed from their best, but they still probably match up very well.
And the other key factor is that for both, this is a critical fight that will determine the remainder of their respective careers.
Ladies and gentlemen, Main Events Monitor, in association with your undisputed, undefeated King of Beers, Budweiser. This Bud's for you. Present the featured bout of the evening, 10 rounds of boxing in the heavyweight division. This bout is sanctioned by the New Jersey State Athletic Control Board, Boxing Commissioner Larry Hazard Sr., Chairman Jerry Gormley, Board members Gary Shaw and Al Daniels, Deputy Commissioner Lawrence Wallace, Chief Ringside Physician Dr. Frank B. Doggett, Attending Physicians Dr. Howard Taylor, Dr. Earl Shaw, and Dr. Ken Remsen, Timekeeper Roosevelt Gilbert, and counting for the knockdown seconds, alternate referee Earl Morton. The 3 judges scoring this bout on a 10-point must system will be Eva Shane, Eugene Grant, and Gene Williams. And when the bell rings, the man in charge of the action, referee Ron Lipton. And now, ladies and gentlemen, Convention Hall here on the boardwalk in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the black trimmed in gold. He weighed in at 224 pounds. He's a native of Augusta, Georgia, who now lives in Newark, New Jersey, and fights out of the Mark Roberts House of Pain. In 1988, as a U.S. Army sergeant, he captured Olympic gold. And as a professional, he now has a record of 23-2 with 1 draw, and 16 of those 23 victories are by KO. And he's captured a world title. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the former WBO World Heavyweight Champion, Merciless Ray Mercer. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing white trimmed with black, weighing 209 3/4 pounds. This 1984 Olympic bronze medalist has a professional record of 30 victories, 22 by KO, against only 2 defeats. Ladies and gentlemen, from Atlanta, Georgia, presenting the return of the 3-time world champion and former 2-time heavyweight champion of the world, Evander Holyfield.
Gentlemen, I received the rules from the commission. To avoid any controversy, I remind you now, if you score a knockdown, be careful with your follow-up punches. Do not hit a man on the deck. If either fighter is in trouble and you do not want me to stop the bout, you must show me clearly that you can and want to continue. These trunks, below here is low. Below here, and these trunks are low. No matter what happens out here, obey my commands. Let's keep it strictly professional. Good luck to you both.
Very direct instructions from referee Ron Lipton in this important heavyweight fight, Holyfield and Mercer. Ray Mercer was probably looking at him oddly when he was describing the knockdown instructions. Mercer doesn't know what it's like to be knocked down. Never hit the canvas in his career. Mercer in the black with gold trim. The real deal, Evander Holyfield in the white. Trying to work behind that jab.
That's one thing about Evander. Evander has a spectacular jab. When he's on with it, he's very precise with it. Merciless, he has a very heavy jab as well, but I think Holyfield's jab is a little more precise, a little sharper. And in the early going here, I think Holyfield looks pretty good.
Well, that's important, John, because there have been so many questions as to the health of Evander Holyfield. To your eye, right off the bat, this is what you want to see now. The question is, what do you want to see in the middle of the fight and late in the fight when the heart muscle's really tested?
I want to see the same thing I'm seeing now, and I want to see him. His trademark is being able to bite down when he gets tired or fatigued. And against Moore, he obviously faded. It was like he was being held back by an invisible force. And so you'll be able to see around the 5th or 6th round, I think we'll have an idea of mentally where he's at, if he's able to push through that or not.
In terms of the conditioning of Ray Mercer, you know he weighed in at 224 pounds, but he did have to cut a lot of weight to prepare himself for this fight. He was walking around over 260 pounds when he signed for the fight. He dropped down to 240 at the early stages of training camp, and then he came in at what looks to be a very good 224. Holyfield catches him with a left hook.
Holyfield's getting off first here. He's getting off very well, I think. And this isn't the start that Merciless Ray Mercer wanted. I'm pretty sure of that.
Mercer working with a new trainer, Tommy Parks. Of course, there's a Tommy in the other corner, Tommy Brooks, alongside Don Turner in the corner of Evander Holyfield. Holyfield wrapping up with that left hand behind the head, and Lipton separates him. Back to the jab for Evander.
He looks good. Jab looks good. Combinations look good. I'd like to see Ray make it a little bit more of a physical fight. Put some pressure on the heart of Evander. It's a brutal game. It sounds brutal, but if he wants to win, he's going to have to test him as much as he can physically.
That test will move on as we come to the end of round number 1 between Evander Holyfield and Ray Mercer. First round back after the layoff, and the left hook looked good, John.
Yeah, it seems like Evander was trying out several different punches in the first round, trying to see what kind of range he could get with them. And he caught Merciless reaching with that shot. So that was good counter punching on Holyfield's part.
Second round of our heavyweight main event from here at the Atlantic City Convention Hall, right on the boardwalk. No title at stake here, just a 10-rounder, but everything on stake with regard to the careers of both men. You know, we talked so much about the layoff of Holyfield and answering the questions, but Ray Mercer has not fought since last July, and that was an uninspiring effort here in Atlantic City, a draw with Marion Wilson. Prior to that, he had the rematch with Jesse Ferguson.
Even though Evander's controlling the fight so far, but Mercer reacting the way he does, aggressively, you know, putting the pressure on, I think that's going to help him later if Evander's heart isn't up to par 100%. And even mentally, because maybe Evander's in perfect condition, but he's a human being and he's got to have a question in his head. If he probably asks himself, what if something's wrong? What if they're wrong about me? So I think Mercer needs to make it a dog fight and see what kind of condition Evander really is in.
Self-doubts can be just as much an enemy in this game as the opponent who stands opposite you. Back to the jab. Combination blocked. Double jab by Holyfield.
I don't think at a distance like this, at the distance they're at between each other, Evander has the much better arsenal so far. I don't think Ray can stay back like this and box with Evander. I think Evander could continue this mode and win the fight pretty convincingly. I think Mercer needs to step it up. If one of them needs to do something a little differently now, it's Ray.
There's a good right hand right between the guard of Mercer from Holyfield.
See, on the inside there, Ray should take advantage of being able to grab Evander. He shouldn't let that opportunity go. He should push Evander back, force Evander to put pressure on his own legs to stop Ray from maneuvering him around the ring. That's the only way that he's going to get him tired.
Good work from Ray Mercer there.
Let him go. Stop punching.
Right hand comes in from Mercer.
Ray should try and minimize that jab of Holyfield. He should be answering back with his own jab to slow him down.
Does so there, and a right hand by Mercer to close out the second round.
You get as much as you want.
1988 Olympic gold medalist Ray Mercer. Finished up strong in that second round, John.
Yeah, definitely. I think Ray could have stole the round there at the end. It was kind of an uneventful round, not a really decisive round either way. Showing that aggression and getting Evander off balance a little bit definitely could have tipped it in his favor.
Had the good left hand there, and then the right hand to close out the final seconds of the round.
He thinks he won the round.
Pumped up, and he needs to. Very important fight for Ray Mercer. He was quoted earlier as saying, this is his time. Feels he needs this to remain among the heavyweight contenders. Right hand after the double jab from Mercer.
You know, Evander's laying back all of a sudden. He's not using his own jab. He's not leading with his own jab, and that turns out bad for him in almost every instance. Now he's kind of pawing, reaching with the jab. If he keeps sticking it in there, he seems to have good success holding Ray off with it, but he's not doing that right now.
Mercer throws a lead right hand before they tie up. Good work with the jab from Mercer. Holyfield triples up his left hand. Nice stinging jab from Mercer, snaps back the head of Holyfield.
Ray looks good with his jab. So far, whoever leads with the jab seems to be winning. So that should, you know, somebody in each corner should point that out. The jab is dictating the fight right now.
Holyfield comes back with the straight left hand after the lunging hook by Mercer. Back to the jab for both men. Holyfield pushes down on the back of the head. Ron Limpton is going to clean off the gloves of Mercer and warn Holyfield for pushing. There's a nice right hand to the body after the jab by Ray Mercer when Holyfield went to lift his left hand. Holyfield returns fire with a left hook. And now the pace picks up here in the final minute of this third round.
Now they're getting it. Now this is a good round. Now they're starting to work. It's a hard round to score too, though. It was slow earlier.
And all of a sudden, the distance between the men has changed. Not necessarily just out at the end of those jabs. More willing to take a step in. Right hand by both men. Hook by Holyfield is blocked. Mercer back to the jab.
If one of them could finish this round from this point on strong, I think he would take the round.
Good third round between Holyfield and Mercer.
You gotta stay with the jab. Soon as you finish, spin. Soon as you finish, spin. Half steps. Understand? Yeah. Breathe. Breathe. Okay. Breathe. Exhale all the way out. Breathe, baby. We got 3 in the bag. We got 3 in the bag.
Convention Hall in Atlantic City on the boardwalk. I'm Joe Tessitore alongside John Scully. The corner of Ray Mercer says we have 3 in the bag. On the other side, Don Turner and Tommy Brooks said you got to stick with the jab. As soon as you're finished, spin, half step. John, as a light heavyweight contender, please explain what they're looking for.
Well, I think so far they've both shown that whoever has the better jab wins the exchanges. And the Holyfield's countering pretty well, while Ray seems to be aggressive in spots like this, and he looks good. So both guys, I think Holyfield's looking to counter off his own jabs and off of Ray's aggression. Ray's got to back Holyfield up a little bit, put some pressure on his heart.
What an exchange here in round 4. Both men willing to trade. Holyfield may have got the better of it.
Now this is the most important part of the exchange here is what Holyfield does when they're done punching. Because it's going to be simple for him to let his hands go. But if he takes another minute before he starts punching again, that's going to be a big problem for him. Like right now, he hasn't really thrown a punch in about 15 seconds. And neither has Mercer for that matter. I think if Mercer was aggressive right now, he could definitely take advantage of something here. But they exchange with each other. You know, it was an even type of exchange, and now neither one of them is really doing anything.
Over a year removed from losing the heavyweight title to Michael Moore in a stunning upset, and spending the better part of that year dealing with medical issues. Retirement after a diagnosis of a heart defect, and then his firm belief in a faith-healing salvation to that problem before the Mayo Clinic and other doctors have verified the fact that Evander Holyfield has no heart defect.
See, Ray's got Evander backing up. He should keep that momentum going. He should force Evander to back up. Don't allow Evander to dictate it, to back up when he wants to. Ray should force him back, push him back any way he has to, even if he has to engage him physically and use his legs to push him back.
Right hand from Mercer. Holyfield throws one of his own. In a roundabout way, what you're basically saying is Ray Mercer's got to act like the bigger, stronger guy who's going to test that heart of Holyfield.
Again, because I don't care who you are, if you're Evander Holyfield right now, you have some questions in your mind. And Ray has to force Holyfield to find the answers to those questions.
End of 4. Mercer looking good early against the two-time former heavyweight champion and the former undisputed cruiserweight champion, Evander Holyfield. There were so many questions concerning Holyfield, the long layoff and coming into this fight, and the challenge is just dealing with his own situation. But what a challenge Ray Mercer has been through the first half of this fight.
See, now Ray's using a pretty good jab, but I'd like to see him bend his knees and sit his butt down and push that jab, bang that jab into Evander's chest and his chin and force him to back up. But right now he's only making contact with Evander. He's not making Evander go backwards.
Nice body shot with a right hand after the jab to the midsection. He had success with that earlier, and then comes back with a right hand upstairs, does Ray Mercer. Once again with the right hand.
Now, if he wanted to really play mental games, which most of boxing is mental, especially at this level, he could throw right hands and try to throw them more in the vicinity of Evander's chest, more towards his heart. It may or may not, in reality, have an effect, but mentally, if he keeps doing it, it could raise big questions in Holyfield's mind. That was a trick, actually, that Sugar Ray Robinson used to do. He used to throw good shots at his opponent's heart.
Left-right combination from Holyfield. There was a right hand as Mercer came forward. Holyfield caught him with a right hand. Mercer falls in behind the right hand, and Holyfield gets him behind the head.
I'd like to see Ray be first a little bit more.
Seems like he hasn't worked as much in this 5th round as he did in the previous 4, John.
Right. You know, conditioning is such an important factor. And, you know, neither one of these guys seems to be having a tremendous output of punches, especially Evander, who you're used to seeing throw quite a bit more. So it could be, you know, it could be maybe the other guys, each guy punches hard enough to give the other guys respect, and they're altering their game plan a little bit.
Mercer tries to come in and land the combination. And once again, Holyfield was able to pull him down from behind the head. Coming to the halfway point of this scheduled 10-round. Round number 6 for merciless Ray Mercer. He needs to be merciless against the 3-time world champion Evander Holyfield. He needs to make sure that he doesn't come off that gas pedal. There were hints of that in the 5th round. Opening combination from Holyfield. Back to the jab for Mercer.
Ray needs to really put that jab into overtime. He really needs to pump that in there, because Evander is not the type of guy you can give him leeway. You can't get away from the jab with him. You can't lower your output against him, because he uses that to his advantage, and he'll definitely step on the gas pedal and take advantage of you. In return, you have to match Evander physically and mentally. You have to stay right with him.
Which is one of the reasons why Evander has been so successful in his career, because there aren't a lot of fighters who can match Evander physically and mentally.
His mental and physical strength is amazing when he's on. He's like a sprinter in the 100-yard dash that at the 80-yard line he just takes off and he gets 10 yards on you, and you just feel like there's no way you can catch him. And he gives the guys that feeling. And if Mercer doesn't stay with him, you know, Holyfield will get more confident. That's what Holyfield wants. He wants to see weakness in a man. That's what he takes advantage of.
There's the jab that opens up a combination from Mercer.
Now Mercer should punch again. Now he got off good, and now he just spent 10 seconds doing nothing, and Evander didn't do anything. So he should punch and punch again and try to find a weakness in Holyfield, because if it's there, you'll never find it if you don't push him. If you don't make Evander punch 70, 80, 90, 100 times around, he'll go at this pace 100 rounds. He'll do it.
Mercer came in strong, and Holyfield found him with a short right hand.
Ray's got to bite down. He's got to dig down here and push Evander back and make Evander work.
Good lead right hand from Mercer, and then a snap jab off the hip before they tie up. Mercer now has a little bounce to his step. Another right hand.
To me, it's a little bit too much of a boxing match for Mercer. The fight's getting later, and Evander's only going to get sharper and stronger if they stay at this kind of distance. Mercer's got to make it a different pace fight for him to have any kind of effect on Holyfield's conditioning.
I think that's very sound analysis, and you're dead on right. But having said all that, Mercer, scorecard-wise, you can very much argue this is 3-3 or even 4-2.
Oh, very likely, but the last 4 rounds are going to be
huge. You see that cut now that has opened up over the right eye of Holyfield. Don Turner and Tommy Brooks tending to a cut over the corner of the right eye on Holyfield.
All right, Holy, you got to stay long range, baby. Holy.
Let's listen in.
Holy, listen up. You got to stay long range. Let's go. Any more? You got it down. Listen, stay long range with your jab. You letting the guy get too close to you, he potting shotting at you now. Follow what I'm saying?
John Skelly, let's see if we can find how that cut was started. Maybe not there. That looked more like a short right hand by Holyfield, but what about here from Mercer? Evander Holyfield slow coming out to the corner. Work done there. Appears to be a cut to the side of his right eye. And I think the indication is from a punch of Mercer. The corner of Holyfield calling out to referee Ron Lipton, saying that it was a butt. It was a butt. But I think it did come from a punch,
yeah,
and that is the ruling from the official.
That's what Lipton said, too. No, I didn't see it that way. I saw it as a punch. Cut around the right eye, and it is dripping. Still early in the round, only 30 seconds gone, and this the 7th round in what is a battle. More movement now from Holyfield.
And Mercer ties up.
Mercer wakes up. Between rounds, he really hurt it. Even his manager, Mark Roberts, who does not work the corner, ran into his corner to tell him, come on, get with it.
Mark Roberts, who brought Tommy Parks into the corner of Mercer, and there is Tommy Parks studying the scene. He knew Evander Holyfield could probably be suckered into a slugfest, and he was right.
Yep, and he wants more punches, and he gets it right there from Ray Mercer. They are spurring their man on. More shots from him.
They feel a window of opportunity. Holyfield bleeding around the right eye.
The blood coming down and hit right on that eye.
Not as many punches by Holyfield in this round.
And more movement from Mercer. Really a draining fight.
They must feel as if they've gone 12 rounds already.
Oh, absolutely, and they're both arm weary. That's why they've slowed down.
Both coming off the layoffs.
Yeah, the long layoff. They're stale.
Both felt they may be able to take one another out in 5.
Watch your head, says Ron Lipton. Oh, again, the right hand. There is power in the right hand of Ray Mercer.
The Mercer corner wants him to come forward. They think this is the time for Mercer to go in and slug.
And I think they're right. When you see blood on your opponent, that means he is hurt. That means you jump on him. Try to hit that cut. Aim for it. Ray Mercer's not really doing that. You also try to spin your fist right on the end to try to rip that cut open.
And Holyfield trying to take the rest here in the 7th. Not to face any more damage, get back into the corner, and they could work on the cut. But Holyfield needs the 2nd win.
All right, baby. Holy, if you step to him, you got to step to him and fire sets. Follow me? Just like in the gym, just like we working on the mitts, okay?
Take a deep breath and exhale hard. Water, water, water.
Evander Holyfield looking every part of the exhausted Evander Holyfield in the Michael Moorer fight as he comes out now for round number 8.
Yeah, showing a lot of signs of fatigue. Between rounds, his corner, Tommy Brooks, telling him this man is ready to go. Get on him. Ray Mercer is resting. But Holyfield looks like he is as tired, if not more tired, it's Ray Mercer.
We could hear into the Holyfield corner between the last round. It's probably the same thing that Tommy Parks was telling Mercer.
It could have been the same exact thing. They both fight so similarly.
Ray Mercer, who did not start boxing until he was 22, that as an amateur, as an Army sergeant stationed in Germany, did not turn pro until just a couple of weeks prior to his 28th birthday. He's an Olympic gold medal winner at 27.
But look at this. Look what he's trying to do here. He's trying to get Holyfield to chase him, to run after him. Look how he is moving now. Holyfield closing the gap, coming in, and Mercer saying, come on inside. I got something for you. I got this right hand for you. Come on in.
He's thrown more punches in any one round than he did the whole fight against Larry Holmes, Mercer.
That's right.
Mercer says no, but that invigorates Holyfield.
Oh, yeah, both of them.
Mercer comes back. both cutting the right hand.
A lot of blood coming from that cut over the right eye of Holyfield.
Ron Lipton, the referee, taking a close look, but Holyfield still moving forward, staying in front, willing to trade. Vintage Evander Holyfield. He said, I'm not going to stand in front anymore, make it easier for my opponent. And here he is standing in front. And Ron Lipton wants to take Evander Holyfield over to the doctor. Crowd not excited about this. Dr. Frank B. Doggett is in the ring.
That cut over the right eye. Doggett says, let it go a little bit longer. That is in a bad position. That blood can drip down in the eye and blind a fighter. Just from the blood dripping in there. Hampers your vision. And that blood's coming down. You can see it streaming down the right side of Holyfield's face.
Teeing off now is Ray Mercer. This is turning out to be the war at the shore.
Ray Mercer got more confident, but look at the variation in style of Mercer. He is supposed to be the brawler. It was Holyfield who came into this fight saying that he was going to box more.
The 1-2 by Holyfield, and the left by Holyfield, and another left rocks Mercer, who goes down to the knee and is hit after he went down. The crowd going wild out of nowhere. In the 8th, Holyfield puts Mercer down. The crowd whipped into a frenzy. Mercer says no, he just went down to a knee.
He was on his way down when Holyfield hit him. Once with a left hook, it looked like that could put him down. But then when he was on the canvas, he got it again.
The first time that Mercer has ever been down in his career. Looks like he was just trying to avoid another shot and took a strategic knockdown.
Here it is. Mercer looks like for a moment he's going to go down and take a count right here. He ducks down. When he goes down to take the count, he gets hit by Holyfield on the canvas.
Was there a punch that...
There was the left hook.
Now
Mercer
holding on. That's where he was
stunned.
hurt.
He goes down here to take the count. And when he does, Holyfield lets him have it. Again.
It looked like he went down to avoid what was going to be a roundhouse left.
And that's exactly what he did. He got the first left hook there, and down again to try to revive, gather himself.
Both fighters touch gloves, even though this is not the last round. Or who knows? Maybe it is.
It could be with that left hook of Holyfield, and he comes out throwing it.
Is invigorated by the conclusion of that last round. Just as the doctor had come in to inspect the cut of Holyfield, Holyfield picked it up. Now Mercer stands in front. And this is a 10-round non-title fight. A throwback encounter of two warring heavyweights.
What a big fight. That knockdown in the last round. This is extremely close. In a close fight like this, that knockdown may be the difference.
Mercer comes in with the punching power, and you know Holyfield comes in with the staying power. Reminiscent to round 10 of Riddick Bowe, Evander Holyfield. Holyfield completely turns the tide in the 8th. Looked like he was on his way out. And then the barrage getting Ray Mercer in trouble, although Mercer shook it off, said no. Now you start to see around the right eye of Mercer, that is swelling, may be closing.
That revived Holyfield when Mercer went down. However, Mercer may have an opportunity now. Holyfield continues.
And the crowd responding to a gallant former champion.
Mercer is ready to go. Holyfield will pour it on now.
Well, remember Mercer's fight plan throughout his career. is to wear his opponent down, then beat him up. Catching everything is interesting strategy. Takes punishment until the opponent gets tired, punching him and wears him down, finally leaving an opening for Mercer. But this is Evander Holyfield, a fighter that is very difficult to wear down. But Mercer has been in the situation before, getting behind and pulling it out with one punch. He was behind on all cards through 3 rounds against Tommy Morrison. He's behind through 9 rounds against Francisco Damiani and knocked him out. Down to 10 seconds in the 9th.
The one-punch power is in the right hand of Mercer, but he can't go out there looking for it. Ray Mercer cannot force the power. He's got one more round to unleash it.
9 rounds down, 3 minutes to go.
Go get him, that 500, that's so you're a champ. You're going to win this now. Everything you got. Go.
Ray, you got to kill him, Ray. Ray, don't ever stop punching. Everything perfect. Keep it up. Push him off and punch again.
You're laying on you.
Right hand, left hand.
You need this round, big.
You're doing everything right. Keep it up. Excuse me, son. When you throw the right hand, come back with the hook. Okay. Don't lay on him to throw the right hand. Swallow it.
Ray Mercer has heard it from Tommy Parks and just about everybody in his corner. It's now or never. You got to be first. The gallant warrior, Evander Holyfield. The cut stopped just for the moment. It's one punch away from being opened up again. 8th round, Holyfield had the doctor step in the ring to inspect the cut. Perhaps close to stopping the fight. And Holyfield comes back later in the 8th to become the first man to ever put Ray Mercer on the canvas in this Mercer's 27th professional fight.
What a battle. The first round was Holyfield. The second round, Mercer came back a little bit until the 4th round. Holyfield turned it around. The 6th, Holyfield was cut over the right eye. And then the 8th round, Evander Holyfield really turned up the heat and continued it in the 9th. I have it a very close match. What a war.
Oh, upstairs. Rattling back and forth, the left and the right by Mercer.
They told Mercer between rounds, you got to do it. You got to go out there this round and let your punches fly. You have to connect.
Holyfield has been down at the hands of Bert Cooper, although he says that's a questionable knockdown. And Riddick Bowe, the last time that Holyfield was down was last June. That was at the hands of Benny Hinn, the Philadelphia faith healer. Halfway through the final round. Both fighters who have worked so hard to get back in the position to brawl for 10 here tonight.
Both of them have been 10 a number of times. Holyfield 10 or more, 9 different occasions. Mercer 7 times, 10 or more.
And the way this fight has gone, and if it goes to the scorecards, there will be a winner, but there won't be a loser. I think each of these fighters would feel very confident if they could get a shot against Oliver McCall or Bruce Seldon or George Foreman.
Absolutely, and both of them really have made a statement in this fight.
Oh, there's the takedown.
They do both go down. Both of them to the canvas.
Ray Mercer off balance, falling into Holyfield, who was also falling off balance and now has his trunks falling down. And that may be the only way you get Holyfield down on the canvas tonight. Oh, there's that right hand from Mercer. There's the time remaining in the 10th and the final round.
And both of them looking for that final bell. Blood streaming down from Holyfield. What a warrior. Heart, desire, strength, determination. But
Holyfield still coiling out of that compact stance. Final seconds. He'll slug it out to the final bell. 10 rounds, 30 minutes, toe-to-toe. And now it's goes to the cards. When we return, the decision, Evander Holyfield and Ray Mercer battling it out for 10 full rounds.
Go to the scorecards. Gene Williams scores the bout 95-94. Eva Shane has it 97-92. And Eugene Grant scores it 96-93 for the winner by unanimous decision. The Warrior has returned. The winner, Evander Holyfield.
And he comes back and demonstrates all his heart. Evander Holyfield slugging it out. One judge had it 1 point apart, and the others 5 point, and a 3-round victory for Evander Holyfield, who survives the cut, knocks down Ray Mercer for the first time in Mercer's career, and you know Mercer cannot agree with that decision. Evander Holyfield, the winner tonight over Ray Mercer, unanimous decision. First man to put Ray Mercer down on the canvas in the career of Mercer. And now it's time to take a look at the Power Punch, brought to you by Budweiser. Fresh, pure, natural, proud to be your Bud. And champ, this was the knockdown in the 8th. After the doctor had examined the eye of Evander Holyfield in that 8th round, the fans here thinking the fight might be stopped, and it seemed to rejuvenate Holyfield, closing in on Mercer. There was the big left, Mercer going down, and then to avoid another shot by Holyfield, ducking and going to one knee, getting a big punch after it, and that series constitutes the Power Punch of the night.
And they succeeded on both counts. For Evander Holyfield and Ray Mercer, it was a win-win night. In defeat, Mercer won the praise of a courageous warrior, turning the clock back to that promising Olympic gold medal winner and thrusting himself back into heavyweight title contention. Evander Holyfield put his heart through a grueling stress test and passed in gallant fashion. His stature soars. He's back in the hunt. Later that night, in the post-fight press conference, he only wondered when the boxing organizations would recognize that.